Hello YouTube, welcome to my channel Secret Point. In this video session we will discuss one of the most important concept of Java programming, that is constructor. As I got so many requests from my viewers to make a video on constructor, so in this video we will discuss about constructor. Okay, and for your information only, I was provided some of the valuable information regarding constructor. You can note it down by pausing the video. Okay, so let's start the discussion. Here you can see that constructor is a Java feature or a special type of method which is used to initialize the object. As you know that most of the peoples are having one misconception that constructor is used to create an object, but I want to make sure that constructor is not used to create an object. It is used to initialize an object. Okay, constructor role is to initialize an object. Whatever the data members are present in a class, that data members got initialized through the constructor, and we are not creating any object through the constructor. Okay, remember it. And next statement what I was provided here is Java constructor is invoked or executed at the time of object creation. As I told in the first point that constructor role is to initialize, so in the next statement you can see that constructor is getting executed or invoked at the time of object creation. Means first the object creation should be done, then after of object creation the constructor will be get executed. And constructor role is to provide initialization of an object, not to create an object. Okay, here you can see that I was mentioned that not to create an object. Constructor role is to initialize the data members of a class or an object, not to create an object. And if we will use any return type along with the constructor, then it will treated as like a normal method. Okay, suppose if you will write any return type along with the constructor name, then the compiler will not raise any error, and JVM also will not raise any exception. What will happen is it will treated as like a normal Java method only. Okay, and new keyword, here you can see that I was written one point, that is new keyword is responsible to create an object and constructor is responsible to initialize the object. Okay, whenever JVM encounter the new keyword, then JVM will identify what amount of memory is required for that object, then it will send a request to the heap manager to create an object, and based on that based on that memory, heap manager will create one object, and it will provide some identification to that object in the form of hash code, and finally heap manager will send that created object in the form of hash code to the JVM. Now JVM will receive that hash code and it will convert that hash code into a hexadecimal form, which is called a reference value. Okay, now that reference value got assigned to a variable that is called reference variable. So that is all about the process of creating objective, and we will discuss about that concept in a details manner in a later video. Okay, so as of now we are discussing about constructors. So come to here if we use any access modifier like static, abstract, final, other than, okay, if you are using any access modifier like static, abstract, final, and strict FOP, volatile, transient, these kind of access modifier if you are using along with the constructor, then you will get one compile time error saying modifier triple x. Triple x means here access modifier. Okay, modifier triple x means it is the access modifier static, modifier abstract, modifier final, anything, whatever the access modifier you are using along with the constructor, that access modifier will be here. Modifier access modifier does not allowed here, that will be the compilation time error you will get. And constructor are allowing only 4 access modifier, that is private, public, protected, and default. These are the 4 access modifier which are allowed by the constructor. You can use this access modifier along with the constructor. Okay, and based on these points I was written one program. Okay, let's start the discussion about the program. And before that I just need to tell you that please note it down these valuable points if you feel that it will be helpful for you in coming future. So let's start the discussion about program. Here you can see that I was taken one class with the name A, and within that class I was taken one constructor, zero default argument constructor, that is of zero argument constructor, and within that constructor body I was written one system.out.println statement. It is simply printing a constructor. Okay, and why I was written here return double quote, and why I was written here within the comment string, all those things we will come to know in a few time, within a short period of time. Okay, so come to here you can see that I was taken one class with the name test4. This is our main method, main class, and within that main class I was taken the main method, that is public static void main. And in the main method what I was doing is I was just creating one object for the class A. Okay, as I told you that whenever JVM got encounter the new keyword, JVM will send a request to heap manager, and heap manager will create an object based on the memory identified by the JVM, and send that after creating the object, heap manager will send created object to the JVM. JVM will convert that hash code value into a reference into a hexadecimal form, that is called a reference value, and that reference value is got stored inside one variable, that is called reference variable. Here A is our reference variable. Class name reference variable equal to new class name. This is the syntax of object creation. Here A reference variable, this small a is referring to reference variable, this is referring to the class A, so it is holding the reference value of class A. Okay, in the next statement you can see that I was taken one system.out.println statement. Within that I was printing the reference value of class A. Okay, to print the reference value of class A, what we need to do is we need to call toString method. Okay, actually what happen is whenever we are trying to print any reference variable, automatically toString method will get called by the JVM over that reference variable. Okay, system, here you can see that system.out.println, here I am trying to print reference variable A. Okay, it means the JVM will call toString method over this reference variable, and it will search for the toString method in the current class, in the respective class. If toString method is available, then that toString method will get executed here, but if the toString method is not available in our respective class, then the default, not default exactly, explicit superclass, whatever the explicit superclass is there, that in that class it will search for the toString method. If it will not found the toString method in that class also, then finally it will search for the toString method of java.lang.object class, that is the default superclass of all the class. Okay, finally the default superclass toString method will get executed. So for this time I am just making it comment. Okay, and here you can see that I am calling the toString method over the reference variable A, and here in this statement I am printing the hash code value of class reference variable A. So for this we are having one hash code method, that is a method declared inside the java.lang.object class, and I am calling this hash code method over the reference variable A. And in order to know the class name of a class name, we are having one method, that is getClass method, and we are calling this getClass method over the reference variable A. This getClass method is also declared inside the java.lang.object class. Okay, and okay, that's it. Let's start compilation of this program. What is happening, you will come to know in a few moments. I am opening my magnifier so that it will be easier for you to see it in a proper manner. Go to run, then go to command, then switch to the location where you are keeping all your Java programs. Okay, okay, now we are in the location where I am keeping all my Java programs. As the main method class name is test4, so compile that file by using the command java c test4.java. Press enter. Okay, wait for some time as the compilation is going on. Okay, now our compilation got over. Now in order to execute our program, we need to use the command java file name is our test4. Now our program got executed, and you can see here that a constructor means as in the main method I was taken, the first statement is object. I'm creating one object for the class A. So as the object creation is done, in the next moment only the constructor of class A got executed here. Okay, as you can see here that whenever the object for class A got created, after creating the object of class A, automatically the constructor of class A got executed, and within that constructor I was written the statement a constructor. Okay, let me zoom out so that you can see it in proper manner. Okay, now you can see that as in our main method, the first statement is object creation statement of class A. So the when the object got created for class A, the next statement what got executed is a constructor. Okay, this body, this constructor of class A got executed automatically, and now you can see that next statement is the reference value. The reference value is a at the rate 23fc4bec. This reference value will vary from system to system, from one program to another program. Okay, this is not a constant. This reference value is always vary. And this is the hash code. Hash code is nothing but an integer, random integer value provided by heap manager to an object for identification purpose. Okay, this is the random integer value provided by the hash heap manager. Okay, and class name, through the get class method we are getting the class name of this program, that is class A. We are calling get class method over the reference variable a, small a, that's why we are getting the class name is a here. Okay, and let's do some modification with our program and check what output we are getting once again. Okay, and move to the program once again, and here I just made some of the statements comment, so I'm just removing all those statements. Here in the constructor also I was made one comment, that is string. Okay, I'm just removing this, and I'm removing the comment from the return statement also. Okay, now I'm saving this program, and I'm trying to call this, sorry, execute this program. Okay, so in order to execute, again I need to use java command. Okay, java c command. Before that, as we did some modification to our program, so we need to compile once again. Java, wait for some time. Okay, now our program got compiled. Now java test 4, enter. Now you can see that we are getting one output. Okay, we are getting one output, that is reference value is this thing, and hash code is this one, and class name is this one, and finally we are getting a constructor. Okay, this is because happening, this is printing in the ending of that statement because it is not treated as a normal java method. Okay, because as you can see here, let me zoom out. Okay, now you can see here that here object got created for class A, but as we were used one return type with the constructor, so it is treated as a normal java method. It is now a normal java method with the return type of string, and it is no longer a constructor of class A, so it is not getting executed as long as the object created for class A. And as it is of string type, so I am returning one space. This is indicating one space. Okay, return double quote space, double quote means it is indicating one space, and whatever anything within double quote is treated as like string, so it is accepting. Okay, so as it is a normal java method. Okay, so in order to execute a java method, we need to call that method over the reference variable. So here I'm calling that method a method over the reference variable a here. Okay, as a result our method got executed in the end, and we are getting the statement as output, that is a constructor. Here is executed on the console just because of calling that method. Okay, whenever we are calling this method, as of this our system.out.println statement got executed and a constructor got printed to the console. Okay, and one more thing I need to tell you, what is actually happening whenever I will uncomment this one. Okay, let me do uncomment it, and as you can see here that I am printing a reference variable. Okay, a reference variable I am printing here. So what is happening in the background we will see. Please check this first statement once again. Here in the first statement we are calling the toString method explicitly over the reference variable a, and here in the next statement I am just trying to print the reference variable a. So what is actually happening we will come to know in a short period of time. Now switch to the location. Okay, close it. Now switch to the location. Okay, now we are in the location where we are having a program. Now compile it. Javac test4.java. Okay, now Java test4. Okay, now as you can see here that first statement is reference variable value is a at the rate 164 f1 dod. Okay, and in the next statement whenever we are trying to print the reference variable a, what we are getting here, a at the rate 164 f1 dod. This is same as this reference value. So what is happening, you know what is happening here, you just came to know. Okay, wait, switch to the location where we are having programs. Here what is happening is over the reference variable a, JVM will call toString method here. Okay, over this reference variable a, JVM is calling toString method. So both of these statements are indirectly same. Here in this statement, in the first statement we are calling the toString method explicitly, and in this statement we are calling the toString method implicitly. Means here we are not calling toString method. Here JVM is having the responsibility to call the toString method over this reference variable, and in the first statement we are having responsibility to call the toString method. Okay, so that is all about constructor, and some of the tricks also I told about, some of the background tricks actually what is happening in a background process whenever we are creating object, and whenever we are trying to print the reference variable, what is happening, all those things I just told in this video. And once again I'm just switching to the content. If you just need, then please write it down. Okay, and I'm slowly switching down so that you can able to write all the points and note it down. Okay, okay, that's it for today's session. Hope you liked this video, and if you liked this video then please subscribe to my channel, and keep referring to your friends and relatives, and you in the description box you will find all the links to my social networking sites. So please like on that channels, so like on that pages, Facebook page, Twitter page, LinkedIn pages, so that you will get notified whenever a new video will come out. Okay, so that's it for today's session. Thank you.